Hello, my creative friends. My name is Heather North. You can find me on Instagram at Heather's Creative Blessings. It's been 2 weeks since my last video. Today is Tuesday, 2/22/22, February 22nd, 2022. Kind of a Super Tuesday type of a thing. And I want to wish Jen Lee of Quirks and Stitches a very happy 40th birthday. Happy birthday. Not that Jen Lee has ever watched any of my videos, nor will she probably see this one, but you never know. Just in case, I thought I'll wish you happy birthday, because even though she doesn't know me, she's made an impact on me and my stitching and some of the things that I do, as well as so many in the cross stitch community. If you aren't aware of who Jen Lee is, check out her Flosstube. I believe she's Quirks and Stitches, either that or Jen Lee. And she is the one, her and her mom started the hashtag 24HOCS, 24 hours of cross stitch. So several times a year, I think it's once a quarter, but I could be wrong, they do a 24 hours of cross stitch marathon. And you may hear my computer or my printer in the background. I have printed out some things. One of the things I'm just going to show you a little piece of from a distance. If you are on her Facebook group, she gave a free pattern, and it's Lucy Beam. So Lucy Beam created this. It's a free pattern in the files section of her Facebook group. Not that first thing. I don't want to show too much, but it's a really cute cross stitch pattern, and it says my marathons run on X's. Cute, right? Because she does the 24 hours cross stitch marathon. And since I was not going to, since I'm in the no new starts, I don't think I'm going to start that today, although I could change my mind. I did pick up a different piece in honor of her birthday, but I just want to shout that out to her and to you to make sure you get that pattern if you are in her group and interested. And the printer stopped, thankfully. So I have ordered some things to go with some other things I'm going to share in a little bit, and I just didn't want to forget to share them with you, so I printed them out from Etsy. All right, let's get into the stitching and a little bit of what's been going on. So I didn't film last week. I didn't have any, I don't think I had any haul except for a club order that came in with the, anyways, I'll share that in a minute. But then this week, everything came in at once. So I have a lot of haul to share with you. I have some FFOs, some finishes, some almost finished that I could use your help with, and some quilty things to talk about briefly back here. So let's just dive right in. And I'll dive right in with some stitching. I've been very talkative today, so I'm trying to reel myself in and not just chatter away and make this be 100 million years long. Okay, WIPGO. Did I share this with you? I don't think so. I think I have finished this since we last chatted. This is Glitter House 2 from Cottage and Needleworks. It's one of the things on my WIPGO board. WIPGO's by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. My goal was to complete this house 2. I mean, eventually I want to get the whole thing done. I'm doing it all on one piece of 32 count raw silver Belfast linen. See how sparkly it is? Ugh. So so 1 and 2 are done. You can really see the glitter here. Oh my goodness. We had spring weather a couple weekends ago, and we were able to wash the cars. It was sunny. And then this morning it was snowing. It's supposed to be really cold this week. The snow's already melted. It didn't stick. It's in the 30s right now. But it's supposed to drop into the teens tonight. Cold, cold, cold. And I'm pretty sure I just did it as called for. If not, it's because, you know, own personal mistakes. But I'm using pretty much the Cottage Needleworks suggested things. So this meets my WIPGO goal for the year. Let me pull out, I don't know when I'm going to start the next one, but the next one will be Glitter House 3. I don't know. I don't know. But here is Glitter House 3. So, because if I only do one a year, it's gonna take me 9 years to get that done. I did math. My next project, oh, I just want to pull this up for just one more second. Somebody asked on my, I think it was my WIP parade video where I get my mesh bags, and I have several different types of mesh bags, but if it's this one, the top that comes in pink, purple, and blue. Those are the only 3 I've found so far. It is, there you can see the name of it. And I got these on Wisdom Pro. I got this on Amazon. And I do like the fact it's the perfect size to hold my patterns. I do like this size a lot. And I like the fact that you could put labels in there. Of course, I haven't yet on that, but you know, you could. My second piece for WIPGO this month is Let's Do What We Love by Jeanette Douglas Designs. And this I pulled out today at lunch, and I stitched on this in honor of Jen Lee instead of that other one. I was trying to think of what could I do on her birthday to just kind of, I don't know. Like I said, she doesn't know who I am, but I'm just doing it along with her, right? And I thought, let's do what we love and do it a lot. Cross stitching. I mean, just, and at home, she does the 24 hours of cross stitch with her mom, and it's just kind of a home thing that the two of them do together. I know other people get together and have meetings in groups, not so much since 2020, but you know, that was kind of the idea. But cross stitch just brings this whole community together. She also has a planner, a digital planner that a lot of people use to help organize their stitching. So anyways, I pulled that one out in honor of her, and it's also my WIPGO piece. My goal for this one was to do, I think, 4 hours, and I met that goal and surpassed it. But like I always do, once I meet my goal on WIPGO, I just keep going until the month is over, pulling it out, trying to pull out at least once a week. And this is what I have. So I got Let's Do What We Love. I actually did love twice at lunch. I did LOV and realized I had counted off of the O instead of the D. And so I ripped it out and re-put it in. Ooh, some days are like that. Okay, I have changed some colors. I shared this in my last video. I think the colors are in the chart. Well, no, there's a couple of them that might not be. But I'll share that at a different time, maybe at the end of the month or when I finish this. Unless you want to know, let me know. But love is one of the colors I changed. It's a color that is in the pattern. I think it's red pear. It's this one that I put right here. It's called for elsewhere in the pattern, but the words were all in black, and I wanted to do just a little bit different, so I made love be that kind of that pink color. These Quaker stars are charted in the black that the lettering is, and I changed it to the aqua color and the pink. Same colors of thread. I think the thread, I think that is what is called for the thread, and so I just put it into the Quakers. And then I made the spools of thread kind of match. So one of them was the called for, and the and the spools are different. Anyways, sorry, I'm going over what I did last time because I'm just remembering, but it's been 2 weeks, maybe you've forgotten to. I hope so. So anyways, I'm making some color changes. I'm pretty much sticking to the colors that she called for in the pattern, adding maybe one here or there, but I'm changing where I put them to kind of just match my style and my home decor a little bit more. So that's Let's Do What We Love. This, okay, this is another one of those bags. But this one's in purple. My cat's trying to come in. I'm not wanting him to be in here at the moment because I do not want him climbing on this at all. Sorry, kitty kitty. That was a lot of work that went into that one for what looked like a simple pattern. So this is my February sampler. It's by Cottage Needleworks, sampler of the month. I have it on Fabric Flares, Aqua, Dyed Effects, and I think 28 count. I did add some Really Tealy to this. I added it to the envelopes. And both of these hearts were called for this red. What is the red in here? Is it Ladybug? No, it's Cherry Tomato. So it called for 2 reds and I changed it to pink. Now, I should have done this in white. I meant to do this in white, but I started doing it in pink and got it all done. And yeah, I didn't want to take time to air it out. Thought about adding purple because I do have a really pretty purple that I've used, that I think I used it in April, maybe in May too. I don't know. So I thought about pulling that out. I thought about ripping out the February and redoing it. And I'm like, you know, let's just see what it looks like. Because the reason why, because the I don't know if you want to call that a border, top and bottom is going to be pink. The house was pink. And then to have February pink, I'm like, that's a lot of pink. And it's charted for white. So I just thought I'm going to keep going on this and see what I think once I get it done. And it doesn't bother me so much right now. We'll see when I get the rest of it done. I think at this point I more just want to get these done than I want to fiddle with it. I will be taking that Really Tealy color that was in envelopes and I'm going to do the window panes on the windows in that color to just add that color in a few more places. But this is, see, here's the 2 purples I have. It's the Fleur de Lilac. Oopsies. Oh, it's all sticking together. That I used for sure in the April one. And I really like that. What's the other one? That's Mold Berries. Pretty. And I thought that would be really pretty with the pink if I had thought about it ahead of time. I probably would have even changed the flowers on the top, but like I said, at this point, I don't think I want to take it all out to redo it. I think it's good enough as it is. All right, I don't even remember what's in this one. Oh, this is a finish. Did I have this I may have had this finished last time, but no, I don't know if I did. I don't think I did because I was doing this in the No New Starts group. I took a picture of the wrong thing and posted it. Well, no, not the wrong thing because I had pictures of 2 things, but I didn't take a picture of this. And I started doing it and then I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to count it for the challenge. And, but I made it work. And I had a picture in my last video of where it was at, which wasn't very far. So I was able to take a screenshot of that. Because really this was one of my New Year's Eve starts, knowing that I would want to have some love and heart things in February to stitch. But I only put in like a couple lengths of thread, so it's just a little bit of white. This is by Hands On Design, February, A Year in Chalk. And it's finished. I have January and February. I think those are the only 2 charts that I own from A Year in Chalk, so I need to look and see if there's any more I want to do. What I like about it is it obviously is heart and love, but it doesn't specifically say Valentine's Day. So it could be an anniversary piece or something like that. So I have that one. Just needs to FFO. So one of the finishes I have done. Oh gosh. I got it in the zipper. Yeah, these aren't necessarily in any particular order. I got this bag. Sorry, it's making crinkles, but isn't that cute? I got that, I think it was from the dollar store. Could be wrong. Before Valentine's Day. is just too cute. Oh, I keep wanting to pull this out and do more work on it. Maybe this is the other one I'll do. This is You Hold the Key to My Heart. It's on a mystery piece of, I think it's 16 count Ada from Color and Cotton. Sorry, I got hair in my eye. I so need a haircut. Oh, it's driving me crazy. My hairstylist, hairdresser is on maternity leave, so just gotta deal with it. I'm happy. I'd rather her be home with the baby than take care of my hair, but my hair definitely needs something. So anyway, sorry. You Hold the Key to My Heart by Heartstring Samplery, and the color changes are Color and Cotton, Cupid, Dark Indigo, and Peanut. And then I use Gentle Arts Fern and Weeks Dye Works Strawberry Fields, because I didn't have the colors that were called for. And, you know, those colors just made my heart happy. So those are my color conversions. I did get some done on this. That's right. But I just want to pull it out again because I love it so much. I had this crazy wild thought that I might get it done in time for Valentine's Day. Yeah, that didn't happen. Oh, but here I am. You hold the key to my heart. Actually, this says you hold the key to my. I've got the vines to do down here. Finish the sentiment and the heart and the key. That's all. But it is, I'd say it's halfway done, maybe a little over halfway. And it's so easy to stitch on that almost, it's a creamy white Ada. Can you see the modeling? Oh, Color and Cotton. Just, I've said it, I'll say it over and over. They just do neutrals so well. And the pattern itself is really easy to follow. So yes, I will be working on that again in February. It's still February. It's all good. So yeah, I'll be working on that. Sorry about the wispy hairs. Oh. Okay. The last two, I do have a chart for this, are an FFO, actually the last three, an FFO and two almost FFOs. But these first two were finished in the last 2 weeks, I believe. This is LOVE, so capitalized with dashes in between, L-O-, you get the point. From Hands On Design, this is her series, I think it's Anniversaries of the Heart series or something along those lines. You can find it on her Hands On Design blog, but every year Kathy designs a chart for her husband, and I think their anniversary is either Valentine's Day or it's in February. So she does a love thing. So this is my finish. I have it in this little bowl. It's so cute. I did change the colors. Do I have the colors listed? I do. So I changed my colors to Weeks Dye Works Uniform. Oh, sorry. It was Uniform Blue from Gast. It is Weeks Dye Works King Mackerel, Weeks Dye Works Icicle, and Classic Color Works Champagne. And then I added in that mint color. What is that mint? I believe it is this Color and Cotton. It's limited edition, so it doesn't even really have a name, but it is the perfect mint. Okay. I'm gonna have to look on Color and Cotton's website and see if this is still available. If so, I definitely need more. And see if it has a name now, or if it was like a one-off thing. Hope not, but I do love it, and it's in a piece already. So this is my little pillow. It is way overstuffed. I am considering adding some chenille or like that seam binding, but for now it's done. It's cute. Yep, I am a smitten kitten. And this is just regular fabric. The fabric on the back is super cute too. I've been kind of hoarding. I love that little bird. Come on, focus, focus. Doesn't want to focus on the right thing. I just love this fabric, and I've kind of been hoarding it a little bit and wanting to have a project to put it on, and so I just put it on this. So that's number one. Number two, it's on this little paddle that I it's this color to start with, and I whitewashed it. This is Gingham Heart. Actually, that's what I'm calling it. I don't really know what the name is of it, but it has a story. But let me tell you what's on here first. So I got the paddle. I used some white paint, just that, I think it was folk art paint or whatever. You get it from Michael's or Walmart or Joann's. And I did a light coating on it, and then I kind of took a paper towel and wiped it off. Yeah, because I really just wanted that whitewash look. I did my first covered button, and this is not in there permanent, although it wants to stay there now. Oh, now I got the back off. But just covered in a piece of fabric, and because I'm debating on how to finish it. This is just kind of a showing you type of a thing. So I might do, I was going to look today and see, because I've got some weird ribbons stored out in the garage. I was going to see if I had maybe a dark one. I love this because it's got the gingham. It's a sweet pink, but it doesn't show up very much on the paddle board. It would look better on that side. This trim is from Lady Dot Creates in the Cookie Exchange. The colors for this, let me see. I do not have the pattern here. Oh, but I have the threads. Pull out the threads so I can tell you what I used. And I dropped something, so. Okay, I was getting to the point where I was just dropping everything, so I took a moment, picked up a little bit. Let's get back to this. Okay, so this came about after I shared some of my hand-dyed fabrics, and I think that was the last video, so if you want to learn more about that, check that video out. But I had dyed several different things, including this pink and this pink, and I used Rit dye, but I also used, for these, I used Crystal Light packets, Kool-Aid type packets, as to dye this fabric. So Jan Holder was watching my video, and she reached out to me on Instagram and said, have you seen the free pattern that Emily Call of salt.pepper.stitching? It's one of the reasons I printed this out. Salt.pepper.stitching put out. She had a free pattern on Instagram, and she said the colors look like the fabric you just dyed. I was like, So I checked it out and loved the pattern, had to stitch it, pulled the floss. So she called for DMC 818, 776, and 321. So I pulled those colors, and sure enough, this is 818. And this is 776. Perfect. So I pulled that, I thought, oh, I'm stitching this up on this. But the problem is that the colors were too close. So I had also stitched up, where's the other piece? It's not in here. I think I threw it out. I have a little bit left. I had also dyed some aqua fabric, and I thought, well, let me try that on the aqua fabric. So that's where this came in. This is the aqua piece that I dyed at the same time as this, using those two colors. And then instead of 3, 2, 1, which is a red, I pulled out, this was from my stash, 814. So it's still a DM, let me pull, where's this thing here? Put it. It's a deep burgundy color. So I pulled that out and love it. I actually just took a length of thread from each of those and put it on another floss. What are these called? Floss biddies from Fat Quarter Shop while I was working on it. So because I pulled those out of a different pattern that is being stitched right now. That I think I'm going to use. I think I'm going to need two things of thread. So anyways, I just put it on one of these. It's already stitched up. Super cute. The key is from just my stash. I already had that. I have some greenery I'm thinking about putting in there. Like I said, a darker color bow. But I just want to say thank you, Jan, for pointing that out. And thank you, Emily, for offering this free pattern. Super, super cute. I can display it several different ways, but I picked up this stand. Again, I think this was from the dollar store. It can just stand right on there. Cute, right? It could also go into a tier tray or dough bowl type of a situation. So thank you, Jan, so much again for doing that. You guys, I was watching Brenda and the Cereal Starter. They did a video, kind of like a live video. They had gone to some kind of retreat. And I'll admit I was a little bit jealous because they looked like they were having so much fun. And when they said Jan Holder, I'm like, I know her. Well, I don't know her, but I kind of know her. But maybe that's not her. I don't know if that's really her. But she messaged me and said, did you see I was on, or did you watch the most recent video? This was a couple weeks ago from Brenda and the Cereal Starter. That was me. I was like, oh, it was you. It's neat to put a face and a voice with the name. That's why I love when others do Flosstubes. It feels like we get to know each other, right? If you have not yet seen that video, be sure and check it out because there is some amazing, amazing, talented ladies. In fact, after watching that video, I started hunting down some sampler patterns because those are some of my goals. I'm getting much better at, like, I feel like I've kind of mastered the 28 count, the 14 count, 8 of the 28 count even weave. I'm doing pretty good on the 32 count, better when the sun is out. I need more light with that. But if I can get to the point where I can do 36 count or higher, those samplers, because a lot of them are so big. But anyways, when they pulled out, so Jan, each of the people pulled, that were on camera with them, shared some of their own stitching and or shopping. When Jan pulled hers out, the first 3, they're like almost full coverage and they look like portraits. They were amazing, just amazing. So Jan, I am so impressed with how much you can stitch. And she said, a bunch of them are starting on the 56 count. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of struggle with the 36. I feel like, I don't know. Not worthy. I guess I'm not worthy to be in their group yet. Life goals, right? Anyways, it was so wonderful to hear the giggling and the laughter in the background, to hear people getting together again, stitchers sharing what they love. I really enjoyed that. So even though Emily call salt.pepper.stitching okay, so it's www.emilycall.etsy.com, but she's also called Salt and Pepper Stitching. So that pattern was free, but I wanted to go support her, so I went and looked at her shop. She's got some great stuff. In fact, I have, I think, 3 of her winter Christmas things favorited. I didn't purchase them right now because I know I'm not going to be starting and stitching them right now. And by favoriting them, on Etsy. I know that I can go back later and get them. I pulled this out, not that I'm necessarily going to be starting this either, but I'm going to kit it up and put it with my Valentine. Since I'm working on Valentines right now, I'm kind of in that mode. I thought I would grab this pattern. I love the colors that they chose, or she chose. And these sweet little, are they tulips or roses? So cute. So she's got another one of those gingham style hearts. She's got open hearts, X's. Oh, so cute. So cute. And the she calls for DMC. So, and her chart came with a color version and a black and white version. And they're on, I think hers were on separate ones. So you can just print, the picture was one. If you're not doing it for Flosstube, you don't need to remember the pattern, because really if you do it in black and white, I mean, if you do it in color, you can really see what the pattern is, but I'll be showing it on Flosstube, so I wanted to print that out. You can just print the black and white, and it's super easy because they're on 3 different files. So that's skipping ahead a little bit, but I wanted to mention that with everything Emily Call, Jan Holder related. All right, my last almost FFO. For this piece, I took some Rickrack that was white. Oopsies. I do not know what is wrong with me today. They keep dropping everything. I took some white Rickrack, and the only colors of Rit dye I have are teal, taupe, tan, and pearl gray. So it doesn't leave a whole lot, because I wanted to do get the perfect neutral for myself. I don't know why I don't just stick with color and cotton, because I love their neutrals. I really like the hand dye by Stephanie that I've gotten too, and the Luminous fiber arts. But there's this brown that I wanted to get in my head, kind of like a paper bag brown, I think would be the good description for it. Maybe a little bit lighter than that. I don't want it too light. I want it a little bit darker, but I don't want it so dark that it's really, really dark. So anyways, that's why I got those colors. But for this, it's an April sampler of the month. Yeah, by Country Cottage Needleworks. I just showed you the February one. It's that one, but April. And I had substituted some of those purples. And when I put this on the sticky board, this was the first one that I put onto a sticky board. And I didn't cut the board quite right. And I didn't want to redo it. And there was a little too much extra space. So I thought I'll just put Rickrack down the sides of it. The pink I had did not match it. And the white, because it's on aqua hand dyed effects, it just kind of faded into the background. So I decided to dye it myself with some grape crystal light. That's my husband's current favorite crystal light flavor. And so he had some left over in his cup, and I thought, I'll try it. It dyed the perfect color, but as soon as I rinsed it out, most of the color was gone. So then I added in some pearl gray to the mixture just to see if that might help it. And it did help the color, I guess, color fast. It doesn't matter if it's perfect or if it lasts forever. That's not really an issue for me. But here is the piece. Here is the Rickrack. And one of the things that made me think about purple was I was testing out fabrics, and I really liked this one. Color's getting washed out a little bit. I really like this purple one. So I thought that's what made me kind of think about trying the purple Rickrack, and I may still finish it this way. I love it on this board. So this board is, I don't even know. Some of you might recognize that. I don't know where it came from. but I think it looks really good on there. But because I used the fabric for, like I said, that aqua hand-dyed effects is one of my favorites, but white doesn't show up as great on it, and nor does white work great for a background. But it looks good. You can see I kind of like that for finishing. I would need to change because it hangs like this, so I need to change the direction. And yeah, not too keen on that idea. But when we were at the craft warehouse a couple of weeks ago, I picked up these tag boards. So here's one. It's kind of that natural wood look. And this one has a coastal kind of beechwood, driftwood look, grayed out. So here, oops, there we go. I like that. And this one, if I did it on this one, I think I would actually paint it white. And then I could still, well, let's see. There's not much of a margin with the color that I put on there. This was only $4.79 and it was on sale. So can't remember what the sale was. 50% off, 40% off, so super cheap. I could definitely do all of the ones I have remaining, just get their own instead of doing separate. But anyways, tell me what you think. Do you like the wood? Do you like the natural? Do you like the driftwood? Do you think I should paint this white? Do you think I should just use the plank, which is already the perfect color, and I could easily do a color behind it? Not necessarily that, even I could change the color, but I will have to change this. I want this to hang the other direction. And I could just wait to finish it till my husband, next time my husband brings out the air gun and the stapler with it. So those are my options on that. I don't know. Tell me what you think. How would you finish this too? Those are my thoughts. So let's get to some happy mail, or happy. What do I, can you, no, my head's in the way. See those flowers there? I got to meet a friend in person and go out to brunch with her the first time, I think, since the pandemic started. Because so many things were, restaurants and things were closed down, and then it just hasn't worked out. It's just every time we try and meet, something comes up. This time I was having a little bit of a migraine starting, but I'm like, I am not putting this off again. And it happened to be, because she said, can you meet on Monday? I'm like, yes. And then, like I said, I wasn't feeling that great, but then I realized it was Valentine's Day. She got me a little Valentine. She got me those sweet pink flowers and then treated me to a pedicure, my first pedicure. I don't even know how long it's been. I don't even know. I think I've had one since the pandemic started because of something. I think we were going, I think it was the last time I went down to California. Wow. So my feet needed it. So I had such a fun time. Thank you, Deborah. That was just wonderful reconnecting. And after being isolated for so long, it can be difficult to get out. It is difficult for me, at least. But I encourage you, if you're able to do so, because we need that connection and we need each other. And so I had a really good time. Just laughing together, laughing in person. Like I said, that's why I really like that Brenda and the Cereal Starter, watching them, because the laughter, just hearing the joy, the pure joy of being together. That was pretty wonderful. Okay. This, when I got that Valentine from Emily Call, yeah, how Etsy will suggest, if you like this, you might like this. Yeah, this is from OxLeonyNeedlework. vintage flowers. And right now she's having a sale. This was only like $2.50 or less. I mean, and look at that. Isn't that the sweetest thing? And I am in sore need of springtime stitching that isn't just like Easter eggs and bunnies. I just want the spring. I love the spring flowers and things. So I've been looking for that kind of a cross stitch. So, and it's charted in DMC and it's a PDF. So I got that. OxLeonyNeedlework on Etsy. And then I ordered some more fabric. These are from Fiber on a Whim. This one is called Stream. Very pretty blue for all those spring things I plan on stitching, right? Or winter, because I think that snowmen look really good on the blue. And this is Slate. A really pretty light gray. And then I got this from Fat Quarter Shop. It's Light Powder Pink Splash. It's a 25 count Lugana. I want to do the I don't know what it's called, Valentine row or tiny houses. But I showed that tiny house pattern in the last video. I kind of wanted to do it on this. And so I ordered that just to see. I don't know if I will or not, but that's why I got it in 25 count. It'll be really easy to stitch on. All right, I'm going to save this for last because this is what I'm most excited about. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget. I'm afraid if I don't have it on here, I will forget. Just grab a couple of things here. Okay. So, this is, it's a Moda Fabric Supplies, but it's Blackbird Designs Thread Keep. The threads that bind. And I was working on a pattern right now. I can't remember what exactly it was, but I was thinking I need one of these to put all those flosses on. And then I saw this pop up and I was like, huh, okay. So I got that. And it wasn't very expensive. I also got the hands-on designs. Let's Talk Quilting, because I'm a quilter. I will be changing the greens that she has here to mint for sure. And probably changing out the orange and just making it more pink or aqua. We'll see. But I had to get that one. My son is just coming through the door, so pause. Also from Fat Quarter Shop is the Floss Fix. It's classic Colorworks. Don't you love that? It's got pinks and peach and purple, like a purple marvelous, beautiful colors. So it's Creamy Peach, Miss Madeline. Don't have either one of those. Spun Sugar, which I do have and like. Lavender Louise, which I do not have. Sugar and Spice, I may have that, I'm not sure. And Marvelous, which I do have. And I'm actually using on something. There we go. And then my April calendar crates from Stitching with Housewives. I'm sure you've seen this. I don't do orange. Not in decor in my house. So I won't be doing this one. It's super cute. I mean, it's super, super cute. Peter Cottontail. But yeah, I'll be giving that away. And there's the threads that come with it. Okay. On to a Color and Cotton. I'm sure y'all have this, but this is the February fabric. So just in case you didn't get it, that's your warning. I have the 28 count Lugana in Fox Run. So the 28 count is all colors. So it can be neutral, it can be any color. And of course the sun's coming right through. But I think that's pretty true. You can kind of see whether you're in the sun or in the shade. And then the 32 count stoneware. So the 32 count is the neutral. And when it opens up, in fact, I might just message her because I am thinking about switching to just the neutrals because I have loved just about every month. I've loved the neutrals because Color and Cotton just has a way with neutrals. Even if it has, like this one has a lot of brown to it. It reminds me of a hot chocolate. A little bit darker than hot chocolate. But it's just gorgeous. Trying. Oh, it's just gorgeous. So the 32 I get the 32 count in the neutral, and then I usually go and order if I can, if she has it available. If it pops up, I'll order it in the 28 count. Or the Ada. Yeah. Lugana. Both of those are Lugana. And I think some people struggle with dyeing Lugana because it dyes so much lighter. But I'm okay with it dyeing lighter. But not Color and Cotton. They just do an amazing job. I think they do. I think she does an amazing job. Okay, this is a new chart from Luminous Fiber Arts, and I'm still like, I still want to work on Counting is Hard. All month long I've wanted to pull out Counting is Hard by by Luminous Fiber Arts, and I keep plugging away on the other things that I have to do. So that may still come out. It'll be a great spring thing to do. So that's why it's like, I've been telling myself, just get your Valentine things done because February is going to be over and you won't be as motivated to work on those. So obviously I've gotten lots of little small Valentine things done, but I want to pull out that Counting is Hard. Then she comes out with this. This is from her Friendship series, Stitching Birds. Oh my goodness. Let me pull it out because the light is just... I wanted to get the kit, but she was already sold out by the time I saw her email. Definitely get on her email or newsletter list to be the first to find out when things come out. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I missed out on the kit. Hopefully the finishing, because the little pom-poms, they're just so cute. So I'd like to get the finishing kit when that comes out. Or back in stock, but she's going to market, so like she said, it's not available. She can't find it. This is something I got off Etsy, and I have been when I went to my grandma's house, my grandparents' house, I think it was last summer. We met, all the cousins met. Both my grandparents have passed away, and we met at my grandpa's house, and they're turning it into, eventually they'll turn it into an office for the LLC that my dad and uncles are putting together with. Anyways, you don't need to know about that. We were going through the house, and the house was 100 years old, 120 years old. Kind of been infested by, or it was infested by mice, and just there's a lot of things that aren't worth anything, but there's still some things that were, and we were able to go through and me and my cousins take some things that maybe meant something to us. And I was looking for some embroidery to see. I didn't know if my grandma, I don't know that she cross-stitched. She did all kinds of crafts. I mean, she loved sewing, she did knitting and crocheting, she did that rug hook stuff, she did painting, toll painting, just always busy with her hands. And so I wanted to see if there was any needlework type things, and I didn't. The only thing I found was she actually had a bed sheet that was printed to do the embroidery on, but it hadn't had any embroidery done on it. And my cousins and my uncle kept asking me, is that what you do? Don't you want that? But I don't do embroidery, so I didn't take that home with me. But I was watching Tiger Lily Designs. And she kind of, is it called upcycles? Old embroidery, or rescues embroidery and cross stitch and needlework that maybe would just be thrown out. She finds it, I think she, you know, and I've actually looked at Goodwill, or not Goodwill. We have some little thrift stores downtown Centralia. So I've kind of looked through there before, since deciding to do this. But she takes it and she turns them into project bags, which I just love. And she mentioned Etsy, and I thought, I could look on Etsy. I'll tell you what, Etsy is a time sucker. But I found and bid on, these are 2 little, I think they call them placemats or napkins, but aren't they pretty? And my plan is not to sew, like I could cut these down and sew them into something, but I think what I'm going to do is sew it on top of, and it's, you know, it is linen. I think I'm going to sew it on top of a project bag. I'm going to play around with it a little bit, but inspired by my grandma, inspired by all of the different project bags, but also definitely inspired by Tiger Lily Designs. You can find her here on Flosstube, and she makes them and sells them. I don't have plans to do that, but oh, so sweet. And you can see where the holes aren't exactly, like they might have missed some holes, or yeah. But it's just lovely. And let me show you the back, because there's the back. Because some of those things are, and they're still beautiful, but they're definitely machine done and not hand stitched like this. This one is definitely hand stitched. I'm sorry if you hear my husky. She just woke up because both sons are now home and they're ignoring her. How dare they? Boy, did they have fun when it got the snow this morning. So I won. I just bid on a few more things. $5 to $10 was my limit. I think they started at $5. And so I've got more of those types of things coming. I did get some hankies from my grandma that had some crochet work on it. So I had some before this that my cousin grabbed for me because she knew I was interested in that. But I don't think I have any that have, none that have cross stitch. So man, I wish my grandma could see me now and see all the things that I love making. So this, let me grab this. This is from Pinky Promises on Etsy. Wanda. I'm pretty sure I saw another Flosstuber talk about this. I'm sorry, I can't remember who led me to her, but she has project bags and she embroiders on the back of them. It's machine embroidered. With that, thank you for your order. Wow, it's a little bit big, which is great because my pattern is going to fit in there. A lot of times those vinyl front project bags do not have enough room for the bigger charts like this. I have a hard time fitting hers into there. So anyways, her name is Wanda. She also has post mastectomy pillows, and she does embroider on them, but she's got the special pillows so that you can kind of support yourself after having a mastectomy. And I didn't even know that existed. That's just such a wonderful thing that she does. So, yeah, next time I have a friend that needs that, I'll be checking her out. So sorry for the crinkle. I'm going to open this. I waited to do the video. It's probably one of the reasons I'm doing the video today. And what's funny, I ordered this fabric. I ordered this fabric that's on the inside front to make my own project bag with. And then I saw hers and I still had to get hers. So here's the front. It's a vinyl front. There you go. Thank you, Wanda. It has a nice big zipper. Actually, she uses a metal zipper. Wow. But it has a nice big hole, so I'll be able to put a cute zipper pull on it. Pinky Promises is her Etsy shop. And then the back. Oh, you guys. Can you even... Do you see how there's like a bird in there? And a rose with the thorns? Oh. Okay. I will definitely write her shop down below. And when I looked just before coming on here, I looked and she had one of these in stock. I think there was only one left. But she'll probably make more because this fabric's still available. But she also has other things she had. I think it was a truck or a snowman, and just she has different designs. I'm sure you could reach out to her and even do a custom design, because she does do custom for those mastectomy pillows. So maybe. Oh, let me grab this chart just so you can see the size compared to the chart. See how that will easily fit in, and you don't have to worry about the zipper, because some of them they fit, but you kind of have to tuck it up under and down below. So, oh my goodness, I am just so in love with that. Thank you, Wanda. Oh, you guys. Oh, my sewing machine does not do embroidery, and I kind of wish it did. Then again, I don't even have all my sewing things done that I need to sew or want to sew. Oh, she's added shadow with white. I guess it's highlight, not shadow, but... Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm very happy with this purchase. And I have favorited her shop to see when she puts out something new. All right, that's all my happy mail. Let's get to the quilting. I know not all of you will stay for the quilting, or you're not interested. So if you're not, thank you for joining me this week. I will be back hopefully next week. Hopefully next week, because, oh man, March is going to be a busy month. So I definitely will not be able to film every week. I don't think, just because I have so much going on, including 2 like extended weekend trips for my husband, mostly for my husband's. One's for my husband's work completely. The other is part my husband's work and part seeing family. And so I'll try and mention this again at the end, but we will be going to Eugene, Oregon. So if you are from the Eugene, Salem, Oregon area, or I guess anywhere between Portland and, which I know Portland has Acorns and Threads, but I don't think we'll be going through or through Portland at a time that they'll be open. But my husband has something he's doing in Eugene, Oregon specifically, where I'm going to drop him off for the day for work, and then I can go shopping. And you know me, I would like to go to a local Needleworks shop, or see something pretty, like, you know, well, if I was going to Portland and want to see something pretty, I'd go to Multnomah Falls, just some scenery or something. But I'll be dropping him off. So if there's a quilt store or a local Needleworks store that you know, within 30 miles of Eugene, that would be awesome. And we had talked about maybe staying the night in Salem on our way back. So that's why I kind of mentioned that. Or maybe even going to Woodburn. One way or the other. So anyways, if you have any suggestions, please leave them down below. Now for quilting, I did not get my X's and O's. I'm pointing to it because it's right there in the chair. Did not get that quilted. I am not surprised. I wish I had it quilted because I just want to wrap up in it. But I started cleaning my quilting room. And I found something that I needed to sew up first. I gotta take a drink. You see this? All right. When I have a quilting project, I usually put them in these bins. I have several of them. I will put quilts in progress. The blocks fit in here. Most of the blocks I make fit very nicely into these. I think they're like 15 by 15. And most of the blocks I make are smaller than that. So it fits in here. I can also just do like, put the fabric and the pattern if there's something I haven't started yet. I've also used these to hold, I've been cutting my scraps down into 5" down to 2, or maybe even 1.5 inch, but 5" down to 2" blocks. So I can kind of do scrappy quilts. This quilt top though has been done for a while. And when I was finished with the quilt, I had the scraps from doing it. And I had planned on turning them into something, maybe a big block or something to put on the back, or maybe even just make like a baby quilt, or what's the word? Doll quilt for one of my nieces or something like that. So anyways, I pulled this out. This is called the Broken Herringbone Quilt. It's by Elizabeth Hartman. Nope, it's by Violet Craft. Sorry. I went to 2 different, one was Elizabeth Hartman and one was Violet Craft, through the South Sound Modern Quilt Guild. We had, the guild had both of those ladies up at different times to do a class workshop with our guild. And so, sorry, this is by Violet Craft. Yeah. And I think it's probably somewhere around 2015 to possibly 2017. Both of my kids were still at home and at school. Both of my kids are still at home now. What am I talking about? But I remember going to this workshop and just having, it was just wonderful. I mean, I guess I'm missing the getting together with everybody. Can you tell? So I did this Broken Herringbone. What I love about it most is the fabric. And I remember getting this fabric. I can even in my mind see where it was in the shop. And this is a shop that's no longer in business. It was downtown Olympia. And it's like on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember the name of that shop. Okay, so it was downtown Olympia, across from where they have I think it's a bus terminal. And Rosie the Riveter was kind of their mascot. They had long arms. I think they had 2 long arms you could rent. Maybe it was just the one. You had to take classes and then you could rent the long arm and use it. And so I was just waiting for my son to get old enough to, yeah, it must have been before 2016. I was waiting for my son, or 2018, to get his license and a vehicle so that I wouldn't have to be picking them up from school. I picked up both the kids from school because the times they had it, it seemed like if it was during the day, it would have been interfered with me getting them. And then I didn't really want to do it on the weekend because that's family time. And so anyway, but they went out of business. Long story short, I still have this quilt top. It still is not quilted, but I was watching, I think, and I wrote it down too, but now I don't know where I stuck it. I think it was the Kindred Stitcher, I think. And she's local. The person I was watching was local. She's local-ish to me. And so she was sharing on her video that she took her quilt tops to Shiplap Quilts in Tenino, which is about 10 minutes from me, Tenino, Washington. And so I think I'm going to take this in and have this quilted. I'm super excited about it. The herringbone pattern itself was, the way that she has put it together was kind of interesting and unique. So the things I remember picking out this fabric. I love this fabric line. It's so bright and springy and cheery. And of course I can't remember, I don't know who it is. Maybe I can see it on here. Lake House Dry Goods. Bayside Quilting. It still has a thing on it. Bayside Quilting. Oh, I miss them. Keep on quilting. Okay, that's not who made the fabric. That's just the store where I got it from. It may have been a couple of different fabric lines, but the main one, I mean, this is my favorite. I just wish I had more, and I think this is all I have left. Maybe I'll find some, if I ever get some furniture to store my fabric in. That's kind of just, anyways, I digress. What was I saying? The things I remember, the fabric and getting the fabric and loving the fabric. Violet Craft had a kind of a trunk show, so she showed her patterns and things that she had worked on. She also had bundles of fabric that maybe was no longer available, just from her own stash, and she was selling that. And I bought my first fat quarter bundle, buying that from her. And she also brought bins of their scraps so that you could use it in making the quilt. And it was really fun to meet the designer, work on one of their quilts. I didn't have any of her fabric, which, you know, several of the people who came, oh, isn't that funny how the light just changed? Several people did, but I didn't have any of her fabric yet. So I used my own, but this just makes me happy. So anyways, this bin had my leftover fabric, scraps, as well as leftover pieces. Let's see if I have one here. Kind of like this. So we had sewn these strips together to make the herringbone. And so I had some of these left over, and I turned it into kind of a scrappy, it's the start of a quilt. All right. So this is what I worked on this weekend, which was a lot of fun. I may need to get on the futon behind me to show you this, but this, it just, what I did, the big pieces were, so I did have, like, this would be one piece I had, and I sewed it to this piece, and I cut it down to 10 inches. And then I took the leftovers, and then I sewed on other strips to it to make these little 5-inch blocks. See, there's my favorite fabric right there. Oops. So now I have this piece, and it's probably, it might be like 40 by 40 inches. It would work for a small baby quilt. Thinking about putting a border on it, and so I've just been kind of playing with it because I still have, you can see I still have fabric left. I have these strips. So this is what is left. I have a bunch of these strips, and I thought about just sewing those together and kind of doing like a, what's that called? A keyboard? Is it called a keyboard? Maybe border. Anyways, but that's where I am. And this is definitely, I mean, it goes along with the Valentine's, but definitely going on to the spring feel. So here's another one that I also thought about giving this to my sister-in-law and my brother. My sister-in-law is pregnant with my new niece, due in June. So, but I don't know what colors she likes. I need to see what colors they're doing the baby's room in. So I thought about giving that to them, but then I might also, it's a good excuse, if I keep sewing, I will make a quilt specifically for that baby. And that could even be just like an extra quilt that I give to my niece, because she's, you know, a little bit older. So I definitely want to give her a little gift, a little something when the baby comes, or when I come visit the new baby for the first time, so that she doesn't feel, I mean, she's going to feel a little bit left out, but, and you know, that's part of life, and that's okay. But I will definitely be bringing something to her. So that may go to her. I don't know, but definitely use up that leftover fabric. Squirrel. But that's my quilt here. I can bring this. This is, of course, the worst time to show you because, let me add this high window right here. It's just a little square, or not square, it's actually a little rectangle. And of course, sun right in my eyes. But this broken herringbone, I had a lot of bias on it. So I think I'll take this to Shiplap Quilts and have them quilt it. Either an all over design or what I had thought I would do is practice my free motion quilting on my home machine with this. But I just, my home machine isn't the best for free motion quilting. It just doesn't like it that much. And then, like I said, I was going to learn how to do it on the long arm, and I thought I would do each of the sections, the V sections, do my own thing in it, and maybe do a swirly, circly type thing in between. But Bayside shut down. And then Wayland Quiltworks had a long arm in her shop down in Centralia, Washington. And I did take a class with her in the beginning of the pandemic. Or right before I think things shut down. I took a class with her, learned how to use her long arm, loved it, just loved it. It was my first time actually using it. And I could see myself really enjoying it. One day, maybe if the adult children move out, I will turn one of their bedrooms into my long arm room until grandchildren come. But what I'd really like to do is just rent somebody else's, because it takes up a lot of space, and I don't see myself, because I am into so many crafts, it seems like investing in that big of an investment for just something that I don't do as often as the others. I don't know. It seems like a big investment to me. But anyways, so I learned how to use hers, and then of course things shut down because of, and then they opened back up, and she made the announcement that she was closing her shop. So which she has every right to do, every right to retire. But now I'm on the hunt. If you live in the Olympia, Rochester, Tenino, Tumwater, Centralia, Chehalis area, and you know of somebody who rents out their long arm, I would like to know about that. But I will go see what they charge and what the price is, and possibly get one of mine done, thanks to, like I said, I think it was the Kindred Stitcher. She's one of the newer ones I've started following, and so if I have the name wrong, I'll write it down again below. I did it last time, couldn't remember the name. But this is another one. Wouldn't that be pretty up here in the spring? So I could do my X's and O's for February, and then have this one, well, not the back. She has pressing seams open, some open and some closed. It was like, oh, it's just different. But having this on the back of, yeah, for spring. So I have rambled on. Oh my goodness. I was in a talking mood today, you guys. I hope that I probably have lost most of you by this point. But if you're still here, thank you for sticking in with me. I hope you guys have a fantastic week or two until we meet again. And please, please, if you know of a needlework shop or a quilt shop or a sightseeing type thing to do between Portland, Oregon and Eugene, Oregon, or close by, let me know. Also along the Oregon coast, because I'm gonna try, it depends on when we meet his aunt and uncle on Saturday, but I would like to drive down or up the coast home. I know that Acorns and Threads is closed on Sunday, so whatever. But if you know of a shop, please let me know. because we'll be making that trip again later in the spring, early in the summer, I believe. So anywho, hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.